start with Manchester United with Peter Schmeichel, that giant Dane in goal. Number 2, Paul Parker, after 3 weeks out injured. Number 3, Dennis Irwin. 4, Steve Bruce, the captain today. 5, Mike Phelan. 6, Gary Pallister, the player of the year. 7, Andrei Kanchelskis from the Ukraine. 8 is Paul Ince. 9, Brian McClare, the top scorer with 22. 10 is Mark Hughes. And 11, that breathtaking 18-year-old Ryan Giggs. Parker returns to right back then, Irwin at left. Phelan gets the important job in the centre of the midfield ahead of Neil Webb, who's a sub. No Brian Robson as expected. Kanchelskis and Giggs down the flanks with Lee Sharp the other sub. Nottingham Forest, meanwhile, well, they have Andy Marriott in goal, 21 years old, and only a handful of games behind him. He's in goal. Number 2, Gary Charles, back after injury. 3, in place of the injured Stuart Pearce, is Brett Williams. 4, Des Walker, now the captain. 5, Darren Wassell. 6, the splendid young Irishman Roy Keane. 7 is Gary Crosby. 8, Scott Gemmell. 9, Nigel Clough, the manager's son. 10, Teddy Sheringham. And 11, Kingsley Black. Pearce's place at left back. It's a really huge void to fill for Forest. Williams, who's played the last 2 games, gets that job. There's now a more vulnerable look, it seems, about Forest defence than for some time, but elsewhere, of course, there is plenty of talent to go round. Let's have a look at the 2 substitutes. As I said, for Manchester United, it's Webb and Sharp, and for Forest, it's the fullback Brian Laws and the striker Lee Glover. Roy Keane, Scott Gemmell. Here's Walker. He's got a little bit of a niggling knee injury, Walker. Over 40 Danish friends and relatives in the stadium here supporting him today. Here's Phelan. Little touch from Giggs into Hughes. Here's Phelan, well forward again. And an early touch of the ball there for young Andy Marriott. Too high for Hughes on the far post. Throw the ball, and his shot was saved by Schmeichel. But Roy Keane, with that dramatic new haircut of his, that I can tell you he took a fair amount of ribbing from his teammates yesterday when he appeared with that. But that was a typical Keane surge through the middle. And McClare put it in the back of the net, but the flag was up. There was a foul by Hughes as he got round Wassell.
I think quite rightly there. We can have a look at it again, Brian. There you can see pulling him back there. Wassell had just got ahead of him, and Mark Hughes pulled him back
as well, but Walker just puts his foot down, gets a little more out of the tank, and quite comfortably gets into pole position again and gets it back comfortably to his goalkeeper. Here's Kingsley Black, very nearly found him. A good ball played by Keane for Clough. Brett Williams up here, the fullback. Touches the ball now for Scott Gemmell. Sheringham trying to get in there, knocked away by Phelan. And a good throw out to Ryan Giggs. Here's Walker.
I think you will find that Schmeichel's probably one of the best servers of the ball in the Football League. Wonderful server of the ball.
And I would have thought not far from being the buy of the season. Here's Ince. There again! A goal for Manchester United. Brian McClare, made by Ryan Giggs. Well, the top scorer's in business again. That's his 23rd this season. But just look at the work here of Giggs.
That was delightful football by Giggs, wasn't it, to set up the play there for Brian McClare. And did McClare do well? He was in initially here, he sort of miscontrolled it there, but it rolled to Giggs. He took a quick, looked as if he was going to have a shot at one stage, and then rolled it back into Brian's path, and that was it, tucked away. So with a quarter of an hour gone, Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Brian McClare. Here's Ince. McClare. Walker stopped him, but unfairly.
great run here by Giggs. And a superb ball there, played in for McClare. 14 minutes gone, McClare's 23rd of the season, United a goal. And from inside Marriott's goal, the result is exactly the same. Little back from a little bit of a hamstring. He felt that he was fit, but fortunately for Forest, it's a full-back for a full-back, and Laws is an excellent right-back. Difficult for Clough there, a better ball in, and Clough might have responded better for that one. It was so difficult for him to pick up, but it's still with Forest now with Keane. Laws has gone on ahead. Crosby, Gemmell, tried to get a 1-2 going with Clough, and a scorching shoe in the end, who knocked it behind for another corner. Again with a corner. Floated in there towards Walker. And Sheringham in the end getting it away. Keane is the man on the charge forward again for Forest. Crosby had just strayed offside. Keane held it up. Crosby got back onside. Laws has gone down the right for him. And Black has spotted him. Now what sort of cross can he put in? And Sheringham with a header. The ball deceived Pallister, but the angle wasn't quite right for the number 10 there. Far side. Trying to run Irwin. Gets past Irwin. There's the cross. Oh, it fell just behind Sheringham. Black again. Clough trying to play it in for Williams. Again, United do well. Very coolly getting that away. Kanchelskis' work was excellent there. McClare for Kanchelskis. Oh, and the pole there for Hughes. Block challenge, just Forest defender, and then a free kick. Quickly taken there by Gemmell. Up to Sheringham. Played wide this time for Keane. Forest fans getting behind their team now. Black again on that far side. In now for Gemmell. Clough's available and waiting for it. McClare had come close to him, but he still found Sheringham. But now Sheringham gives the ball away to Ince. A little bit of interplay there between Ince and McClare. Hughes brought down and by Wassell, and a free kick. Parker once more. Can Hughes turn on this? He's got Walker to beat. In the end, he knocks it wide for McClare. Knocked in by him. Wassell and Walker both going for that one. And Wassell with that one. Marriott fisting it away to where he knows there's relative safety, but it's a corner again for Manchester United. Giggs with a corner towards Pallister, knocking it down. Sheringham getting it to Roy Keane. Now 2, 4, 6, 7 of them. Plenty of blue back. Gemmell's cross. And a throw to Nottingham Forest, which Gary Crosby will take, and take quickly. Teddy Sheringham. Crosby. Gemmell. Cut out by Bruce. Gemmell again. Finding Keane. Trying to get a 1-2 going there with Clough, but it was spotted by Ince. Black coming back once more. Wassell having a real pass 2, pass 3. The ball for McClare. Played in for Ince. Great challenging again by Wassell. He certainly saved Forest there. But a wonderful Manchester United move. Saved by McClare, hoisting it forward, but here's Des Walker. Gemmell. Wassell. In comes Ince. Foul there on Ince by Wassell. No foul. And United can bring it away again with McClare. Kanchelskis has made a storming run through the middle for McClare. But instead he prefers Phelan. Here's Parker. Manchester United still leading by a goal to 0. McClare to Ryan Giggs. Hit long towards Kanchelskis. Well, an unselfish bit of play by Hughes, and McClare after Marriott had lost it there, Hughes must have thought possibly about turning himself, but then McClare played it in. Excellent work by Laws. Can Forrest do something here? No, Ince blocked them that time. It's with Keane. Can he get a 1-2 going with Gemmell? Again, the answer's no. And then Laws easy. It's Phelan. I didn't hear it all. Was he giving me a slap on the wrist?
Was he? Yes. Because actually he was quite right in this game that most of the balls have been played to feet and it's all been very neat and tidy, and very rarely have we seen a ball get played in.
McClare getting it away. Here's Keane though for Forrest. Back to Gemmell. Williams well forward. Here he is again. Hughes into the path of Sharp. Fresh legs and a fresh mind. And an offside flag? No, it stayed down. Giggs must have timed that run to perfection. Giggs playing it in. Keane gathering it quite comfortably in his own penalty area. And a good ball out for Kingsley Black. About 12 minutes of the game left. Laws up towards Sheringham. Shaking off Pallister. Nigel Clough's waiting in the middle. Great work by Schmeichel. Played in towards Lee Sharp again. Walker's in there too. Just over the top and onto the roof of the net. Corner given, so it probably came off Walker. Got a bit of a strike on him.
There's 4 reds wide on the left if they want to try and use any of them.
Can Forrest save it here? Clough curling it. Curled it well. But certainly the Forest fans on the far side of the ground, an optical illusion. They thought that it just crept in. In fact, it wasn't far away. And Schmeichel really had to dance across his line there. You can see a good free kick, but not quite good enough.
I think the big goalkeeper
had a shot that's 18 years old, he looks so at home, he's so well adjusted, he's well protected by Alec Ferguson, who won't let the likes of you and I and the media generally get their hands on him. Instant too long, and it might come for him again. Bruce was in the first time, Ince is in the second time. Crosby, there's a chance for Forrest here. Clough again, couldn't quite pick it up. Keane with a shot, blasted it against Parker, and you wondered just a moment ago why Gary Crosby in fact didn't have a shot on goal himself. But Forrest was so close there to snatching a late equaliser. Scott Gemmell for them. Gets it back to Des Walker. Walker's gone past McClare. Finds Kingsley Black. Forest fans are hoping for something here, but not with a shot like that against a goalkeeper like Schmeichel. Again, Walker right up there, but Bruce tackling well. One deputy skipper on another. Parker for Bruce, forward for McClare, and Giggs. No, Walker's there. Wassell. It's been a real battle that Wassell's had with Mark Hughes. I'm sure he's learned a lot from that this afternoon. Gemmell. Hit it straight at Pallister. Nigel Clough again. Wassell. Can Gemmell get there? No, Hughes. But it's a throw again for Forrest. Still the final whistle hasn't gone. And they're not taking the throw from the right place. Handled it well, George Courtney. Clough there with a header, couldn't quite flick it on for Scott Gemmell. Irwin gets it away for Manchester United. The last seconds now, Walker hitting it forward again. But there goes the final whistle. It's a victory for Manchester United by a goal to nil. Alex Ferguson's team have done it. They are sure of a place in Europe next season. It's in the UEFA Cup. If they win the championship, of course, it'll be in the European Cup. The two managers, Brian Clough and Alex Ferguson. Defeat for Forest, So many times they've been here, so many times they've won, but Brian McClare's goal now has made all the difference for Manchester United to win this League Cup for the first time. Let's go find Gary Newpont down on the pitch. It's a long old climb after a long old afternoon. But I bet when you win, it's an easier climb than when you've been beaten. Steve Bruce. They've tried for long enough to win this League Cup of Manchester United, and now in 1992. There we are, the first time. Peter Schmeichel the Dane, Mark Hughes, who battled with Darren Wassell, and Dennis Irwin and Paul Parker, Mike Phelan, who came in and did an excellent job there, Gary Pallister as well, Andrei Kanchelskis in the tracksuit there, who was substituted, Lee Sharp and Brian Giggs, and Brian McClare, who's been named man of the match, wins the Alan Hardacre Trophy, awarded by the press. There he is getting it, in memory of the former league secretary whose brainchild this competition was. The